Today, we're going to talk about headlights. So, many of you are probably wondering, why bother? Well, simply put, I prefer to have headlights that are adjustable, that you can turn on and off. Pop-up headlights, if you will. So, I'm going to go through some basic designs today to show you how different styles work. So to start with, I'm going to turn all of these to their off position. You'll notice that the second ones are still illuminating a lot out front. But these first ones, these are the first design I came up with, used in my AE86 build. So they use a simple toggle key and move up and down. They're pretty quick. They don't illuminate a whole lot just because they're the smaller headlights, but it works good for a less off-road style car and more of a city car. If you want a rally style of the same headlights, you can do it with large hinges and use the larger lamps, but these tend to illuminate the ground an awful lot when you're not using them. The final version, the worst version, is the rotating headlight, which spins around in place to illuminate in front of it. I don't recommend using these because they illuminate your vehicle and it looks really awful, but they are an option if you choose to go for that. So, first we're going to look at the first pop-up headlamp. So if we come in close here, you can look and see that it's one single hinge with an aerodynamic block and two lights on top. The flat lights don't have any collision as far as I'm aware, so putting a block in front will not cause a problem. This hinge is set to rotate to 50 degrees because that makes it nice and level with the block in front, while also making the back consistent with the height of an armor plate, as seen on the mock-up up here. So you'll see that if we look down at this, the slanted part goes directly from the front surface up to the height of the armor plate. Then, if you lift them up, they come out nice, and then when you put them down, they return back to the original position. Both of these are using a single hinge. You can use double hinges and set them to a higher speed if you want them to pop out faster and be a bit sturdier. This is possibly the cheapest option for headlights as far as the complexity limit goes. The next option uses large hinges. Now, one flaw I've noticed with the large hinge is that it doesn't rotate around the center. Instead, it rotates around one specific end of the hinge. Now, this means you need the end that drops into the hinge to be facing forward. Normally, when you place down the hinges, this will be the direction marked in red for rotation. So if I pull up build mode, I can show you what I mean. So if I click on these, you'll notice that the red arrow is going forward. That's what you need it to be. You need to set it to toggle and to 50 degrees so that it drops down inside the vehicle. This way, they don't pop out awkwardly like they would if you rotated the other direction. And they also conceal themselves nicely since they're set to 50 and they don't let the lights pop out of the hood itself. Because you'll notice those slants at the front, they come out through them. If it's set to a lower angle, you'll still have remnants of the lights coming through that block. Now for the mechanism of the rotating lamp. If you look, it's just a simple rotating servo set to 175 degrees on a toggle. The aerodynamic block in the back is to block the opening when it's not in use. However, I found they don't have any collision, so that's sort of why I use them, simply because they don't collide with the walls around them when they spin. Because, as you'll notice, when the ones up there rotate, the lights come out of the sides, and if you rotated it the other way, you'll see that the aerodynamic blocks go straight through the walls. So, since these blocks don't seem to have a collision, that's probably the best choice we have as far as making rotating lights. The rotating lights are generally just not good, so I don't recommend them at all. but really it's up to your personal preference if you use them or not. Anyway, that's all for right now, so I hope these are helpful, and I hope you find a way to incorporate them in your own builds if you haven't already. So, thanks for watching, and have a good day.